Good morning, Tuesday morning transformation. Welcome, spiritual beings. Hey, what is the one thing worse than death? One thing worse from death. Hey, one day we're going to pass away. We're going to move beyond the physical limitations of our body, and we're going to come to that moment where we transition. And what will that moment be like? How will we look at our lives? And this could be one of the most important or the most important defining moments of our life. Have you ever wondered how that moment will be? So, Bronnie Ware wrote a book, and she was a hospice nurse, and she would obviously develop relationships with people, take people with terminal disease, and take them right up to their last breath. And she wrote a book. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of Dying. Hey, fear is one thing, regret is another, right? Regret is the suppressive emotion that we experience because we didn't do what we feared. Because we didn't do what we feared, then we suffer with the suppressive emotion of regret. And everybody experiences fear. So, what was the biggest thing that was worse than death for these dying people? It was the regret of an unfulfilled purpose. Man, can you imagine getting to that moment and you have the regret of an unfulfilled purpose? Why? Why do they have that regret? Well, there's a few reasons. Hey, they lived what someone else wanted them to do. I run into it all the time. People say, well, just hypothetical example, I'm a lawyer. My parents wanted me to be a lawyer, so I became a lawyer. But really what I wanted to do is be an artist. And now they may be a successful lawyer, but they have all this frustration inside of them. Another one is people just do what they were supposed to do. How many times are we raised? Hey, you get raised, you go to school, you get a job, get an education, get a job, get married, have kids, have a nice house, have a home, and live that safe and secure life. When what's it do? It may completely, inhibit that adventurous side of you. When really, what did you want to do? I want to put on a backpack and I want to go around Europe, or I want to explore the world. What's another one? They didn't have the courage to follow their dreams. They either follow someone else's plan, they do what's expected of them, they fit into a model that's not aligned with their purpose, or they just didn't have the courage to follow their dreams. My wife that passed away, she always wanted to be a real estate broker, but she wasn't willing to take the risk. And that's really what it is the risk we attach to security more than we do the risk of our vision. And then we get to that moment and then we have regret. The last thing that I would want myself or any one of you to do is to die with regret. So, in fact, we choose our experiences. So, what's really the truth? We're spiritual beings. We come into the physical body. We're here to fulfill a purpose that our heart and mind already knows. Now, we may not be conscious of it, but everything that happens to us lives and breathes and happens to us because it's guiding us along that purpose. In fact, we choose it before we come in here. And so if you do follow your purpose, if you feel and you know that I know what it is, I'm going to find it, I'm going to live it regardless of what anybody else thinks, what type of life do you experience? Well, first of all, you're misunderstood. Why? Because you're not understood by people that don't have your purpose. What's the second thing? Those people don't have your mind. They don't have your perspective. They don't have the reason why you are here, because you are the only one in the history of the world that is you. You has never been created before. You will never be created again. You have the purpose and the vision to come in here and do something that nobody else has done. Other people may have done similar things, but they can't do it the way you do it. Hey, I wrote a spiritually based book. How many thousands, tens of thousands of spiritually based books? But no one has ever developed the 6-step system of healed that can make raising your consciousness easy. That's just an example. You are unique. You are a miracle of God. God is your partner. You came in with that relationship. Now, let's fulfill that vision. But what is really the problem? What gets in our way? Our humanity. We live according to our 5 senses. What's that mean? We live according to what we see and what we hear. What's that mean? Hey, when we see what we hear is something outside of us. Now we're reacting to the world. Now we don't, whatever's inside of us isn't strong enough because we're reacting to what's here rather than envisioning. And then we do what we think we should do. We become who we think we should become, but we're not becoming who we're created to be. We're not doing what we're called to do. We do what we should do or what we think we should do according to the outside world, but we're not doing what we're called to do. And that is the biggest regret. So what's the biggest enemy of an unfulfilled or fulfilling your purpose? What's the biggest enemy? Success. Success is the biggest enemy of fulfilling your purpose. Why? Because you can become successful. Why? Because you set a goal. I want this bank account. I want this house. I want this car. I want this life. And we set goals about achieving and having things that make us feel better about ourselves. And then what happens? We become comfortable. And this is the person that wants to be the artist, that becomes a lawyer, that has a great life. You look around, you're successful, you've attained your goals, yet that thing inside you is missing because your spirit and your heart knows you are here for a reason. And I run into this all the time, coaching entrepreneurs, coaching doctors, taking people through spiritual breakthroughs. I'm sure those people that Bronnie Ware was taking to their last breath, I'm sure they had the house they want. I'm sure many had the bank account they want. I'm sure they were successful, yet their top regret was not fulfilling their purpose. And that's it. How do you want to live? Now, what's the best way to fulfill your purpose? Become detached from success. What's that mean? Let success go. So what do? We become committed to living and fulfilling our purpose. And then what happens? Success becomes automatic. Success is automatic. You may redefine your success. And yes, you can have the bank account you want. Yes, you can have the house you want. Yes, you can have the car. Yes, you can have the lifestyle. But that doesn't rule you. That's just one of the rewards of a fulfilling life. Yes, you can have all the stuff you want. Yes, you will also become absolutely passionate about what you do in fulfilling your purpose. Yes, you can live with more inspiration. Yes, you will need and you will develop a whole lot of courage because you're always growing. Yes, you will work. Yes, you will work sometimes a lot, but it won't be work because your work is fulfilling and you're making a difference and contributing in other people's lives. Yes, you'll be thrusted out of your comfort zone constantly. It's not an easy life, but it is a fulfilling life. Yes, you will become more spiritually engaged. Yes, you will spiritually evolve because you're here to create something that doesn't exist. You're here to create something and innovate in a way, and God is your partner. So your spiritual faith will go through the roof. And yes, you will live a life that is overwhelmingly rewarding in your heart and soul. And isn't that what it's really about? And guess what? Here's the most important no. No, you will not die with regret. Isn't that the most impactful thing? So Michael Bernard Beckwith, we see with insight, not with eyesight. We don't see according to our five senses. We see with vision. We keep it in front of us. Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, people perish. Habakkuk 2, 2:2. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, that he who reads it may run. Keep that vision in front of you, whether it's visually or with insight. Psalm 1, 2, and 3. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. Stay connected. In his law, he meditates day and night. Keep that vision in front of you. You should be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. Stay connected, and it will bring forth your fruit in its season. That way, when you do that, you can go through any challenge in the world. Why? Because you have unwavering faith. You have unwavering purpose. And you realize that vision and whatever is inside of me is bigger than anything outside of me. And when you live like that, you will fulfill your purpose. Right now, I'm giving this a little bit early because in the Orange County Board of Supervisors, they are voting on vaccine passports. So you know what? I can't not do this. I have to show. We have to give our opinion. People that are in Orange County, go to the Orange County Board of Supervisors in Santa Ana. Take a stand in your city. because we can either create heaven on earth or we could create the worst hell in humanity. So there's some things you just have to do. So I had to cancel my coaching calls. Sorry, you guys, but this is way bigger. This is the new world that we're going to create. So take a stand for what your vision is. Step into that, because right now, the decision you make is a defining moment of your life. Go to youaremorepowerful.com. Check out the book, You Are More Powerful Than You Think. And really, let's live a life where we can live and fulfill our purpose. And let's create heaven on earth so thy will can be done right now. Okay, love you guys. See you next week.